Hey there, fellow vegetable nerds. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Today, we're gonna get started with our first few recipes. Today is our first day of actual cooking. So I am equal parts excited and nervous, and I cannot wait to get started. So let's start meat and veg.
Hey, turn up the caramello and chisel on the shizney. It's time for me to what? Let me introduce myself. I'm Gino Burrito. My pants are made of leather. I find it hard to concentrate.
Okay, so before we get started, let's talk challenges. There've been a couple. And that's normal. Anytime you're doing something new and you're kind of getting used to something, there's going to be a few challenges, especially something of this nature. So that's normal. We're rolling with it. First thing, which was kind of unexpected, is the fact that the day before this class was supposed to start, my kitchen light went out. Like, it just straight up died. And it's not that the bulb went out, it's that, like, I can try and turn it on and it just kind of comes on a little bit and then it flickers a whole lot. So I think it's just an electrical thing. But the upshot of that is the fact that there's no light in my kitchen, and my kitchen is already kind of dark. Like, that light was already not really doing a great job, and my apartment is already a little bit of a bear cave. What I have is these lights that help me make my videos so that I'm not, here in the dark. Normally I have one helping me out, in addition to the overhead. Now I have two, and my kitchen is kind of one of those narrow, like, galley kind of kitchens. I have my tripod in front of me and I have a light on a stand behind that, and I can't get to the fridge and I can't get to the oven, and it's gonna be a challenge. So the other challenge was something that did arise from the class itself. I got the shopping list in advance, but I only got the recipes the day before the class starts. So the thing that makes that sort of difficult, and I don't want to be critical, but I do think that this might be a thing that they might want to think about changing, is the fact that because I don't know what I'm going to be making and what I'm going to need each ingredient for, I can't make a decision on whether I should buy it or not. So I bought a lot of stuff. Turns out there's not necessarily an expectation that you're going to make every recipe. And I did not know that. And when I saw these recipes, when they finally gave us access to the recipes, I was like, my God, it seemed like a lot of food when I was buying it. I remember thinking, like, this is a lot of food I'm buying for a week. This is a lot of food. And then I saw the recipes and it's just like, I'm not gonna roast 3 chickens in one day. Today is lamb day, and it's like 2 joints of mutton and 4 lamb chops, and that's only 3 of the 5 recipes that I'm supposed to make today. And I'm like, is this really what's expected of me? Because this is a lot. And that would be a lot for one day, but this is a week. Like, what am I gonna do with all this food? And other people in the class, in the chat on today's video, were saying, I was figuring I would just pick 1 or 2 recipes per day, and I would have the other recipes for later, but I'm not gonna make all of them. That's great. That's a smart idea. But guess who already bought the stuff for all of the recipes because I thought I had to. Another fun thing about being a person who doesn't go to the store right now is you have to choose things based off of pictures on the internet. And sometimes they're not that accurate, or you're not sure what you're looking at. And I was looking on the grocery store website and I saw what looked to be these nice big lamb chops. And what it turned out to be was, this is 3 lamb chops. This is 3 teeny tiny weensy little lamb chops. And they're so cute. The other thing that was, really kind of a happy accident, I could not find, number one, like, I knew I wasn't going to find mutton. Like, that's just not a thing, in the United States. Nobody eats that. But I remembered from being a kid that we did used to have, like, people would buy a leg of lamb, or you would buy a lamb roast. And I remember my mom got one time. I thought that was still something you could get, but nobody really makes that anymore. I think it's kind of become a little bit passé at this point. I could not find a leg of lamb. I could not find a roast of any kind of sheepy animal. Not a ram, not a lamb, not a mutton, not a wether, not a nothing. I was looking everywhere, and then I went on Wii, and I know I've talked about them before, and I thought I found what I was looking for. And I was like, I think this is it. And what it is It's lamb shoulder, which I think is what was really recommended was shoulder. I could be wrong. I don't know. But what it turned out to be is you've got these rounds, and then they're cut in half. So there's 4 round steaks. There's supposed to be 2 lamb roasts and each one has its own sauce and its own preparation. This course is primarily about sauces. The meat's not really the point. Every meat in every recipe has some other thing that you can substitute it for. You know, like there's a recipe later on this week where I'm gonna have to do the vegetable substitution because I just couldn't find the thing. So I have my 2 lamb things all set up. I will show you another interesting little challenge. I thought that they were gonna be perfect round lamb steak things. Not exactly. Once I get them out of the thing. These ones here held up pretty well. The other one really kind of fell apart. They're just sort of shaped into a circle. So these are 2 very slightly different preparations, but they're both going into the oven simultaneously. I'm gonna cook them low and slow. Okay, so a mess was made. As usual, there's kind of stuff everywhere. Unfortunately, I got a series of texts at a fairly crucial moment. So my breadcrumbs got a little dark. My sauce reduced a little bit extra. You know what? This looks like maybe it's not great because the sauce is like black and the breadcrumbs are dark. But I started with whole wheat toast, so they were gonna be dark anyway. I wasn't going to get some beautiful light golden, you know. I decided to serve it on top of some greens. I think this is gonna be delicious. I tasted a little piece of it. It was so good. So, you know, it's not always gonna be beautiful, but this looks okay. I'm gonna go take this in to Brian and see what he thinks of it.
Wow.
Yeah?
That was really good.
Like for really
For
real?
really real.
Yeah!
Yeah. It's tender. I can taste almost like it tastes a little bit of balsamic.
Yep.
Kind of flavor.
That's in there.
I like whatever this herb crust is.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Okay.
Success.
Yay! Well, I hope you're enjoying that, but leaving room for more because there's 2 other lamb things in the oven.
Okay. Lamapalooza.
Okay, so messes were made. This was a process. I got 2 sauces here. This is a green sauce, turned out really well. This is a red sauce. It turned out, I can see how it's gonna be really good when I get it right. I think I maybe added too many herbs or too many of some kind of herb, and it's a little astringent. I made 2 lamb roasts. This guy and this guy, they just mess everywhere. It is craziness. But this is the end result. So I've got this one here with the red sauce. This one here with some carrots and some parsnips, and it's got the green sauce on it. And I put this one on top of some spring mix. I would never normally put like a hot roast on top of cold greens, but I figured it would catch that sauce and keep it from going into the other one. Also, for a sauce like this, I feel like it's going to be good to kind of sop it up. I don't know. So now it's time to try it. So let's see what Brian and I think of it. They said that this green sauce is the most complicated of all the sauces that we'll be learning. So I'm pretty happy with myself that I got that one right.
It tastes really good. I have no idea what it is.
You would never guess. It's just lots of things.
It tastes a little mustardy to me, but the other one did too. But
It does have some mustard in it.
it's good.
Yay. Thank you for trying it. Okay, so the 3 main courses are done. I gotta say, all 3 of them were phenomenal. I didn't expect that all 3 of them would be so delicious. The lamb chops were really good. They didn't look like much, but you know, sometimes the best things don't. The roasted lamb was super good. I made 2 different sauces. We've got this cool kind of reddish sauce. That one actually was really good. I was concerned about it, but once you put it on the lamb, it's really, really good. And I got this cool, complicated green sauce, and I mean, even for being complicated, it wasn't that hard. So nothing was that hard. It was just a lot to make 3 main courses in one day. I still have 2 more things to make. One of them is a sweet thing with some ginger and some honey, and that's going to take a few days to kind of like hang out. The other thing is supposed to be, I'm supposed to be making a spiced wine, but I'm just about out of wine. Also, there have been a few mishaps. My kitchen is just, you know, like, oh boy, and I've dropped a few things. And right before I hit record, my phone went off and it startled me, and I turned around and I broke my favorite wine glass. So, and I only have one of these left because I broke the other one. I used to have 3. Now I got 1. I hope it lasts the week. We shall see. But all in all, first day, huge success. Brian loved everything I made. He's not even a lamb fan. I told him what's on the menu tomorrow. He got really excited. So I am really looking forward to that. I'm not gonna film doing the ginger and honey stuff, just because I'm so tired. It got really, really warm in here, between the oven and the stove and the lights, and I had to take my cowl off. I was just like, I'm dying in here. And the wine brought a little bit of warmth as well. But, you know, after a job well done, you know, you gotta reward yourself a little bit. So, tonight was fun. We had a good time. I'm looking forward to the rest of the days of this. If today is any indication of how it's gonna go, we're gonna have a real good time. And I'm gonna gain about 15 pounds by the end of the week, but be worth it. Let's do this. Thanks for hanging out. I can't wait to see you next time. Please remember to like and subscribe, and keep tuning in to see what other kind of cool stuff I make. All right.
Hey, turn up the caramello and chisel on the shizney. It's time for me to what? Let me introduce myself. I'm Gino Burrito. My pants are made of leather. I find a high